Welcome to another Unitrend Certified Administrator course. Today we're going to be going over how to deploy a HyperV appliance. After downloading the appliance and you will run the exe, you will be prompted to give it a name. From there, we would drill down into the system and find the volume that we'd like to deploy this to. You'll see here, for example, I have a directory created. Let's call that HVUV1. From there, I would tell it what virtual switch I need to use on my Hyper-V host. So you'll need to make sure that that has been configured here appropriately to allow it access to your machines you'd like to protect. From there, we'll give it an IP address. Then from there, we'll need to give it a storage device to use for the backup space. This storage device should be the same volume that your backup storage comes from. You should not be storing your storage in different locations. It all should come from the same place. 200 gigabytes is the bare minimum that we need, though obviously you'll need to scale this for however much data you're looking to protect. Please check our website for the Unitrends models to see what our physical appliances would have for a similar amount of storage to size this appropriately. Fixed disks will always have the best performance, though they will take some time to actually create. This will extract out the VHD and deploy this as a new virtual machine into our environment. Note that if you're running Hyper-V Core or Hyper-V 2022, you'll need to be using the VHD copy of our software. To do this, you would create a new virtual machine. V2. And we would create this as a Generation 1 machine with a minimum of 8 gigabytes of memory. We would connect it to the network. And when choosing the hard disk, we would choose to attach an existing hard disk and point it at that virtual disk file. This again should be moved to the appropriate directory, but from here you would be able to import the VM and configure the IP address of the local console. For now, our installer is continuing to extract out the VHD. Once this is done, this will create the VM. So we've managed to create the disk, and we're now attaching it to the HyperV Unitrends virtual appliance. Once this is done, this will power on the machine, and if DHCP is available, it will try to get a DHCP address, but this will default to the IP address of 10.10.10.1 otherwise. In this case, because we used the installer, it's going to log into the machine and configure it for the IP address that we set when we went through the initial installer. If we were to come to the console of the machine here, we can connect in and see that it is booting to the recovery OS, where we will be granted access to the local console here. This is now going to reconfigure the appliance networking on the machine for the correct IP that we set in the installer. Hasn't quite come through just yet, but it will here shortly. If I hit finish here, this will bring us to the browser where we can see that this is now active. There we go. That now says 89.95 on the local console. And we can continue on to begin our Unitrend setup. This is covered in the next module, though. Please contact Unitrend support if you have any questions about this process, or look at our support guides on our website at unitrends.com. Thank you so much, and have